Good morning, everyone. As always, rise with a destination. Salute. As always, I hope everybody out here woke up in prayer, moving in prayer, and out here being safe, productive, and profitable. Today, I want to talk about success. And of course, everybody has their own definition of what success is to them. But in order to succeed in this business, I'm going to tell you one thing. Because it's one thing I keep running into as I talk to people entering the business and so on and so forth. Or just talk to people that's in the business, new to the business, even especially the people that's old to the business. Those are the number one culprits of everything I'm about to speak about. But to have success in this business, it's all about the do's and don'ts. It's all about the do's and don'ts, and not the things that you should or shouldn't do. It's more about that list of things that you say you're not going to do. That list right there. The whole, I don't care what it entails. I don't care what's on that list. If you can sit back and name 10 things that you're not going to do as it pertains to earning money or, creating a revenue stream within the cargo van sprinter expediting business. If you can name 10 things that you will not do that are not illegal, unethical, or immoral, right? That are just like within the business structure, but you like, I'm not doing that, I can guarantee you those 10 things are the reason why you're not succeeding, or you don't feel you're succeeding. By your own definition of success, mind you, we all get to make our own rules and regulations, right? But then you have your own definition of success. What does that feel like? What does that look like? Is that me getting constant loads every day? Is that me making this certain amount of money every day? Is that me being able to pay my bills every day? Is that me being able to pay my half to the bills because I have a partner? Whatever that is, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't feel like you're being successful in this business, it's all because of that 10 list of things that you say you won't do. If you're saying you're not going and you're not sitting anywhere waiting for no freight for 2-3 days, okay? Cool. What if the freight dropped on the 3rd or 4th day? Or the 5th day? Great load. You just never know, right? What if you say you're not taking 70 cents a mile? Well, what if that region, what if that's the high in that region or in that city, state, or town? As far as freight being booked and moved. What if? But you sitting there talking about you're not willing to take the actual number that they offering as a high because of the cost of living in that area. You know what I mean? What if it's a matter of you not wanting to, you're not putting 2 loads in your van at the same time? Yeah, there's rules and regulations around that type of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, based on the shipper and the carrier. That's the only person that can dictate that. So if that person has not requested a dedicated vehicle, if it's just all about you getting it from pickup to drop off on time, and they didn't request a dedicated vehicle, doesn't say it anywhere from the fine print of that contract that you signed when you acquired that load, then you have the ability to get a second load. It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not an automatic thing that since I booked this with them, I can only have this. No, if they don't request it, they don't state that they, are requiring a dedicated vehicle based on the terms of the agreement that you signed and agreed to take that load, then it's not a dedicated vehicle. But you have agreed to pick it up at a certain time and drop it off by a certain time. So now if you acquire another load that doesn't interfere with that pickup and drop off time, then you're good to go. It's really that simple. You don't want to go regional or OTR. You just want to drive local. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine to have that preference. But what does it take to get local business? If somebody's bidding off a load board, they're not going to find a lot of, Chicago to Chicago loads. You know what I mean? You might get a TSA request that's at the airport that's local. But other than loads that's within the same city limits, you're not getting that through a courier bidding on loads for you. Or you bidding on loads for yourself. You get that stuff through contracts. Contracts. And if people got contracts, I mean, they've already put in the footwork. They put in the hard work. They invested the time, effort, and energy to get, local contracts. That way you're just moving around in that city for someone. You might have a local mom and pop's supermarket that does a local wholesaler, wholesale produce pickup every week, and then they might, do wholesale whatever meat, from a meat warehouse or something like that, or maybe all from one warehouse or something like that, or auto parts contract, where it's going from a parts dealer to your local Ford dealerships and Nissan dealerships, Infiniti dealerships, all that type of stuff, but so a lot of success comes through you eliminating that list, or you finding the positive, finding the reason to do everything you say you don't want to do, or at least doing it until you put in that extra effort to create the ideal situation for your business, for what you need to have. But it takes work. You're not walking into the business. You're not walking into the Sprinter cargo van expediting business / industry and something being laid out perfectly for you, unless you walk in with no restrictions, with no handcuffs on. If you come in with a whole bunch of, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, all you're doing is limiting the people that's trying to find loads for you. And I guarantee you're also limiting your position on that priority list. If you got a courier or somebody that's trying to book loads for you and it's a whole bunch of what you don't want to do, you drop down the list. Because if let's just say it's you and another driver in New Jersey, right, at the same time, say you're from New Jersey, y'all both up there looking for a load, but you saying, man, I don't want to go up to, Vermont. I don't want to go up to Maine. I don't want to go that way. I'm trying to head towards the Midwest. I'm trying to head towards Chicago, Ohio, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Illinois, Ohio, and your car's like, okay. But then you got the other dude in Jersey that's like, just book me. Who you think getting a load first? Who you think it's easier to get a load for? And what if the first load that pop up is going to Illinois or wherever the case may be? I promise you, just because you put that restriction on that person, they're going to give it to the other driver. Because they're just going to give it to the other driver. It only makes sense that they book that person first, because you have the restriction. You know what I mean? It's an automatic push down on the totem pole, on the priority list. And that's just why sometimes it's just like when you get into the business to somebody. You may come into the business, you may have a ProMaster City or a Transit Connect, which are the smaller ones, the super small ones, right? And a courier may tell you or suggest, they can't tell you to, but they might suggest, say, hey, if you can, I'm not trying to force your finances into no uncomfortable spot, but if you can, try to get yourself a van. We're gonna onboard you and everything, but the sooner the better that you can get your hands on a high roof van, we'll be in a better predicament. Why? Because the smaller van, the Transit Connect and the ProMaster City are small and they can only hold like a pallet and a half, and they're not tall. They're only 48 inches tall. So, some freight is taller than that. Some freight is, 50 inches, 52, 54, 60, 72 inches. And some freight is taller. That's why you have the 2500 high roof, the 3500 high roof, the 1500 high roof, the Mercedes Sprinters, super tall, and extremely long, the longest of all the vans, coming in a whopping 165, I think, 168 or something like that. Longest cargo van out there, to my knowledge. So it's all about not handcuffing yourself. If you do, cool, but just understand that any frustrations that you may have, I promise you, is based off of that list of things that you're not willing to do or that you don't want to do. I'll bet my life on that. So that's what's actually that's what's stopping you. That's what's in front of your daughter's success. That's the key to your daughter's success in this industry, is eliminating that list. So mind you, and I get it, a lot of us just want to work local because you want to be home every day, or you have to be home every day, because you got kids and this, that, and the other, and that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Your situation is your situation. But understand, you chose this industry didn't choose you. So for you to jump into it thinking that everything's going to be laid out for you, that's a mistake on your part. You know what I mean? And your definition of success is your definition of success. You're frustrated, you're irritated because you're not feeling like you're being successful. And 9 times out of 10, it's on the other side of that 10-item list that you have of things that you don't want to do, you know, or aren't willing to do. You know, in this business, me, right now, I'm not willing to run under a courier. Why? Because I do better by myself. You know, once I have proven that to myself, then all right, cool. You know what I mean? That makes that being on my list correct. Check. Me, I don't like to deadhead. No, I do deadhead. I deadhead a lot home. Most people, they're not trying to deadhead. They're not trying to drive a whole bunch of unloaded miles just burning gas. Why do I do it? I'll tell you why. Simple reason. Something like this. I could prove if I were to go through my list of loads. Every time I deadhead back home from anywhere, I deadhead home from as far as Florida, 1,000 miles away from home. As soon as I get home, you know what happens? My direct shippers are calling me. They're calling me. They got a load. They got a load. It never fails. I literally just did it the other day. I had a load going to New York, 360 something miles for $500. Ran up to Rome, New York. Came all the way back home. As soon as I get back home, I got to eat a bowl of Chipotle, shower, hug my daughter, hug my son, say, talk to them for a little bit. Took my shower, was about to relax with my wife and watch some TV. I hit a special ring to our shipper, hit her phone, and there we go. Bang. Another load going to Circleville, Ohio. 408 miles, $725. Mind you, the whole time I was driving home, heading home from New York, I didn't get anything. I was bidding on stuff, didn't get a thing. So I just kept moving. Like, let me get home. I know once I get home, I have so much good established networked business here that so I'm gonna get something. And if not, I'm fucking home with my family. You know what I mean? No, excuse my language. But so for me, deadheading is my best friend. I can't wait to do it because I'm gonna get back home, get back in my area, and that phone gonna ring or that email gonna jump. Somebody with a load for me. Or sometimes it's a day I got a load in Maryland that normally goes up to New Jersey every Wednesday or Thursday, and then it will come back down either Friday or Monday. Or sometimes it comes back down the next day. So if I know I took a load going somewhere, and that load might be coming down the next day, then I'm gonna deadhead back home because I'm gonna get it. It's a 200-mile run that I do for $350. So I made deadheading worthwhile because of the work that I put in my local area. So that's something that starting off wasn't really on my list. Like I'm on my list was I don't want to deadhead. But what made it worth it was all the good business I started getting close to home. Like, all right, cool. Now I can afford the deadhead, because of the rates I get from the shippers at home. So it's just one of those things, man. Like you gotta eliminate you gotta take the handcuffs off, take the restraints off, eliminate that list of what you don't want to do. Do it all for enough time to where you're able to create the ideal situation for you, so you can meet your own definition of success in the cargo van sprinter expediting business. All right, so I hope that helped out a little bit. And then I'm also going to talk about, you hear a lot of people, I know a lot of people want local work. I'm going to tell you, next video I'm going to do is going to be about how to get local work, how to get local, I don't want to say, I'll say contracts, how to network your local area properly, all right? All right. How to go from OTR to regional/local. All right. All right. Everybody have a blessed day. As always, rise with a destination. Salute.